Hello, welcome to this Quilter tutorial where we're going to be using a service called Quilter, which allows us to convert a PCB which hasn't been laid out to something that looks a lot like this, which has been laid out. And that way, yeah, you're able to take all the work of like manually placing pin connectors and leave that all to this company called Quilter. And yeah, it effectively does PCB design software, and yeah, and then you start an Altium, you take a document, and then I'm going to show you a couple of the issues that we've had so that you don't make the same problem. So don't upload an empty board or a board where all of the components are outside, because that can create problems, as well as not placing the chip inside. Then Quilter doesn't know how to deal with that, how to properly place things. So ensure that you place everything, and only inside the board is where you'll place the pins, but place everything on the exterior. And then, as you can see here, we had generated successful candidates. However, there's a lot of overlapping, too many vias, because we had the wrong kind of header, and it was not a through hole in this case. Instead, we had a surface mount. And then I'm going to show you another candidate and PCB dock. So the layout job here looked better, but it was 10 pin and also continued to be through hole. And again, like there were a couple, I mean, it did not continue to be through hole because we made the mistake, but we put the capacitors on such that the number of vias would be minimized. So by placing more components, it's better, but it is more work for you to manually place them. But Quilter lays it out. So this candidate, number 69 here, has the fuse vias here. As you can see, we have the chip, the header, the capacitors, resistors, everything already well placed. And then you can see here's another example of yet another candidate. But here again, we have the incorrect header and too many vias. As you can see, we can do bottom view, top view. But yeah, now we're going to show, again, just a comparison between, yeah, this candidate and then the other candidate, top, bottom view. So yeah, this is ideally what you're going to get, but we're going to show you how to do a brand new layout job. So what you're going to want to do is browse files, and then next go to downloads, and then in this case we named it Quilter Power Reg, right? But here's one thing to keep in mind: make sure that you don't upload the output. So say you already created a project and you wanted like a new job, you'd have to go to the original project files to create more candidates. Say if for whatever reason you didn't like the 100 to 400 different candidates, right? So I'm going to show you what ends up happening if you upload the project PCB and schematic, which had already come from Quilter, which you will see in just seconds. So if you upload that, right? I mean, it uploads. There's no technological issue, but the problem is board already placed and routed, and Quilter can't help you if you fully placed it. And what I said earlier, you do want to place some components like the capacitors for easier vias, and of course the header. But overall, you want to start with new files such that you get the maximum layout job, and you're able to successfully create the most efficiently placed PCB. So instead, you're going to go to these old files where it says files for Quilter, and notice, yeah, here we have Power Reg as opposed to Quilter Power Reg. So ensure you choose the original PCB files where the components, as you can see, are placed outside. The 3 resistors outside, and then the headers outside, and then the 2 capacitors and the chip are both inside and already placed. So it gives Quilter a bit of a blueprint on sort of where to place things. For bypass capacitors, make sure to press continue, and then when it comes to fabrication, you want to generate using as many fabricators as possible. That gives you the widest breadth of both possible candidates. And then you want to choose minimum layer count and probably prefer single-sided layouts. Again, not all of them are going to be single-sided, but you're going to want as many as possible. So filtering is great, and then the reason why we want a through hole here for our quilter job is because it is easily soldered, not just special machines. So anybody, educators, electrical engineers, schools, at home, however, it becomes extremely easy to solder. So I'm just going to start the test board job, and then in a couple minutes you'll see the candidates start to be constructed. So here we go. Now we've generated a couple candidates, and yeah, that took around 20 minutes. So you can see we have a couple, again, not too many, but most of them still single-sided, not a lot of eyes, but as you can see, we have a small board and we have all the components placed, routed. Routing all looks to be around 100%, no DRC violations. You can see all the vias, the pores, the header, resistors, chip, capacitors, and of course both the top view, bottom view as flipped. And then here's another candidate. And then as time goes on, we're going to keep generating more and more candidates. It's at around 100. We're going to end up generating around 400. As you can see now, we've completed the job. And now we can keep sifting through different candidates to try to find the one with either the fewest vias or is one of the easiest visually to reproduce. So again, you can see here, can flip, see of course the header chip, resistors, capacitors, all the wires pretty well, and then of course all the holes. And yeah, you want to download, click download, and then just keep in mind, like, these are for smaller projects, again, like under 50,000, and that's the free version of Quilter, which you can try for these smaller scale projects. Then you're going to go to Files, to the candidate, and then select a destination and extract files. And then now we have a brand new PCB document, and that way we can go into Altium and then open our brand new document. So as you can see, now we go over to downloads, and then we're going to open the Power Reg through hole, which is a PCB doc, which will have everything that we need. And so as you can see here, we have the 3D view just coming into view, 2D as well, and this is the brand new placement for the PCB layout done by Quilter. You can see all the way on the left, first you can see the bottom view, top view with the chip, the header over there, the 3 resistors, 2 capacitors, and then in 3D view, the bottom of everything, and then in the 2D view, more of the visual footprints. And in another video, we can also show you how to create your own custom components and add footprints. So if anything's missing, you can go check out our other video, which tells you how to add a new component. And yeah, that should be pretty easy. All right, thank you.